business, you may be retired, you may be anything. But for me, if we open our imagination and we start understanding that knowledge, experience, and imagination come together, we can also create healthy workplaces. And this is my passion, so I want to share it with you. And I've been working with Shankar on the ideas of taking this to a much wider arena. So I inherited a legacy business called the International University of Entreprenology from my father-in-law who's passed. But it is about change maker employers. Unless we have people who really can bring hope to the world through employment, I think we're never going to get to a peaceful, harmonious, prosperous place. That's my view. And in all of the work we do, we have certain steps. In our Rotary Club, we do, in Rotary International, you need a vision. And our vision for our club, started by Marty, was that we would be a female-friendly club, which we are. So I'm the first female president of our club. Patty is going to be the next one, and then Ritu, the one after that. And we have a Rotary International woman in charge this July the 1st. So everything is not about women taking over, guys, but it's about our belief in who we are as individuals together. And how do we understand our purpose coming together as men, as women of wisdom and intelligence and imagination. And the idea to spread for me is about authentic harmony. I want harmony and peace in the world rather than what we have at the moment, which is war and aggravation and polarized conversations. And the passion that we have here in the club is magnificent. As Patty said, it's about coming together, remembering those little remarks on WhatsApp or on LinkedIn or wherever it is, remembering time zones. This is really important. The value of people is essential in everything that we do. And that's the center of all my work. It's about value creation. And you've seen this before, but you are the most important person in your life. And how you offer that to other people, yes, it's service above self, but it's also service, loving yourself and loving other people, because that's where we get results. That's where we can actually forge ways forward. And for me, this is what it's about. It's about combining knowledge, experience, and imagination. And I want us to think about how we can imagine our club even better than it is now. Marty started us off last year, founding such a superb club. I hope I've done good service for you to take it forward, and Patty and Ritu taking it further forward with amazing team of leaders, Shankar, Isiak, Marty, Aaron, Quanta, all of you supporting us. And Einstein says that imagination is more important than knowledge because it's limitless. Knowledge is limited. So what you know is, okay, we understand that, but let's use our imagination. And this is myself and my husband in Malaysia, where we really got to grips with this. And it's about entreprenologists, or people who grow large businesses from small beginnings. So if I apply that to everywhere in the world, and obviously the most famous entreprenologists in the world are people who change the world significantly. We know these guys, Steve Jobs, Richard Branson, Elon Musk. But what about the people in Kiva? These are the people who really change lives. These are people who run businesses everywhere in the world, and they come to Kiva and places like that to support projects like Ruby has just shared with us. These are the people who change lives. And I want to share a little story about this young man. I found this story. This guy, he was 10 when he started making something out of scrap in order to help his grandma, who was overheated in her property. And he achieved it by the age of 13. And would you believe it? He eventually got picked up by MIT, and he's now 26 years old, and he runs his own business and he sells to the world. And that was all because he thought of an idea, he used his imagination, he applied it, and he got that social media coverage. So the social media coverage that Patty referred to and Isiak is so good at, we need to make more of that. We can multiply the numbers in our club exponentially by going out and finding the way to do it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. So I want our club to be the best club in the world of Rotary and also in the world. And to remember that women are the largest increasing number of businesses ever. So women-owned businesses are the future. I'm also part of the World Union of Small and Medium Enterprise, and I study this in many, many countries of the world. Women are phenomenal at creating businesses and having 10 kids and, not necessarily 10, but, having a family, looking after the community. And they say, women are extremely studious at wanting to save the world. Every woman I worked with in Malaysia who had a small business wanted to set up a foundation to save the world. What is important for me is that employers become very authentic. I want people to create businesses where they value people. There's that cycle again. And this is about leadership. And we've had great leadership here from Marty. I hope I've done a good job as a leader, and I know that Patty will take this on further. But it's also about everybody else. It's about the team. And in business, it's about making money. And my favorite entreprenologist, maybe because he's British, but I love him to pieces, is Richard Branson. And he says, if you don't understand people, you shouldn't be in business. And if you don't understand people, you shouldn't be in Rotary. And I think we all understand people. And as this year has been about hope in the world, the next year is going to be about magic. Now, I love magic because I believe that when you employ the power of authentic harmony, you don't just get a fun culture and a lovely place to go to work. You actually get far more magic. You get measurable business improvement and community improvement, and you get fantastic loyal customers. So what we want is loyal members. We want new members that stay. And we've got some ideas how we will bring back some of our previous members across the world. I'd like to bring Fumza back in, who is a most amazing friend of ours in South Africa. People like that could really expand the reach of our club. And this is me, just so you know. I did live in Malaysia for 4 years. I had a fantastic time. I do come from London and I have presented there. And obviously with Zoom, I just went out on the internet and I've had many, many wonderful, magical conversations out there on the internet with all of you. And I've written 2 books. Except one of them is in French, which is a translation of the English one. And as many of you might know, I don't speak French. So this is my passion to have harmony across borders. I know my dear friend Feroz, who's very into peace. I don't think we'll have peace till we have harmony. So that's my mission in the world. So as an entrepreneur, and you may be thinking you're not an entrepreneur, but if you use your imagination in anything you do, it's not about money. It's about whether you expand your imagination. It's someone who makes things happen. And the moment you accept the responsibility for everything in your life is the moment you gain the power to change everything in your life. And that's what I did when I met Jim and I set off on the last 12 years of my life, traveling around the world, living in Malaysia, now in America. And so I choose to be uncommon. It's my right to be creative and innovative within me. And I seek and embrace opportunity rather than settle for security. And I risk to dream, I will act to build. And I will actually do anything to help this world with a legacy of authentic harmony. So I'm hoping that you will help me as well, because I think it's time to not leave it all to the government to do everything for us. We need to do it for ourselves. The vision is your opportunity to resolve something that impacts the world. And war is impacting us. War is impacting and damaging children and families. And we need to find the opportunity to do things differently. So remember, it's your knowledge, fantastic. Whatever you know in your life, fantastic. But your experience, how you deal with whether you can get out of bed when you've made a mistake, or you can understand and be honest about things going wrong and use your imagination. This is my founder. I will send you the slides. You can read more about him. But his question to the world back in the 1970s was, what should we be doing? And I think that question is still out there. What should we be doing? These are some of the great change makers in terms of products and services. But in terms of Rotary, what should we be doing to make a difference? And that's what I want you to think about. What can we do that makes a difference? I know that every time I say to somebody, I'm the president of the Rotary Club of Global Impact, and I will enjoy saying I'm past president of the Rotary Club of Global Impact, they always say, oh, that's exciting. What is it? Tell me more. That's our opportunity. All 23 of us members and friends, we can change the world by having a larger spread. my university is not a static university, it's a concept university. We teach lots of things, and you can look at this later. The main thing is that my PhD is not an academic PhD, and I've never claimed it to be. It's a life experience, and it's validated over 52 years. So if you want to know any more about that, then please come and talk to me. It's essentially about your life and how you've done it. So going back to Sir Richard Branson, who's my hero, I wouldn't expect him to go back to college in order to get his PhD. He is the example, a life example of somebody who makes a difference without going to school. And that's not critiquing going to school. He is my favorite. And he said, if you aren't making a difference in other people's lives, you shouldn't be in business. It's that simple. I don't want to be in your lives unless I can make a difference for the better. So with that, I would like to stop sharing and take us back to the audience. Thank you. Anybody got any questions on what
Pauline, I think that was just beautiful.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you. I really appreciate